So yesterday I received a message from someone, and lately I received a lot of messages from people who hit their head again, and they are so scared. They feel a lot of anxiety about this, that they are so scared to sustain another concussion. And believe me, it's so normal to feel scared, because if you, for example, sustain a concussion a few years ago and you already went through a lot, and then you feel like, hey, oh my God, I sustained another concussion. Yeah, I would be anxious too. But what I experience and what I hear more often from people who, for example, then send me a message 1 week later, is that it's just a flare up of old symptoms. So it's most of the time not a new injury. And to understand this a little bit better, I just want to explain what happens when you hit your head again. So if you are listening right now and you just hit your head, you feel scared, or in the future when you hit your head maybe again, please think of this podcast and have the trust that it's just a flare-up of old symptoms. Because hitting your head can cause your body a lot of to release a lot of adrenaline. So this is a hormone, and it helps you to create those stress levels in your body, in your brain. So this makes your heart race, you feel more alert, you are noticing all the sensations in your body, and it can feel just really intense. So this is a body reaction when you hit your head again. So from this reaction, a lot of fear, anxiety can come up. So you feel already worried about another concussion, and this fear can really make your concussion make it feel worse, the symptoms feel worse. So your brain is really trying to protect you. So it reacts very strongly when you sustain or when you hit your head again, because it thinks, oh, there is danger. So of course, this really flare up all symptoms. So hitting your head can really lead to what seems like a flare-up of symptoms. For example, you feel headaches, you feel more dizziness. Those are all flare-up symptoms. So if you feel like after hitting your head again that you have a headache, that you feel dizzy, that you maybe feel nauseous, this can really be flare-ups, and they are most of the time temporary. So once you are slowing down, when you calm down, when you focus on, for example, grounding techniques like meditation, maybe you feel like I want to sleep a lot or I want to rest more. That's so important. Just try to calm down, because once you do, and this is mostly after a few days or after a week, then you feel like those symptoms are going away. So that's the most important thing, to stay calm. If you can stay calm, and if you feel very anxious, please try to do a meditation, do some breath work. Remind yourself that what you're feeling might not mean that you have a new concussion. You can always reach out to me as well if you are worried. But it is most of the time just your body, the reaction to the stress that you created in your body because of this hit. And I just want to mention that it's also very helpful to write down how you feel. So really pay attention to how you feel. So if you feel on day one, for example, very nauseous or very dizzy, write it down. And the next day, again, write it down how you feel, because sometimes you're getting so used to how you feel that you don't notice that it's already reducing the symptoms. So know that it's very common and that you're not alone. And it's also very common that after hitting your head again, it's most of the time a flare-up. So I'm repeating this because what I hear about, what I hear from other people, and when I learned from my own experience, I hit my head again during my recovery as well. But those symptoms, those extra symptoms, lasted mostly for about, I think, 1 week. And this is mostly because I felt so much anxiety and I really didn't want to sustain another concussion. And from people I talked to, and those are several every month, they also, well, most of the time they always report back to me that they feel so much better after a week. So really focus on those grounding techniques and have to trust that it's not a new concussion. And I know it can be tough because, it's just a scary feeling. So, I just want you to know that is the most important thing when you hit your head again is to focus on relaxing, on calming down. Maybe take some, that's what helping me a lot when I feel more stressed or anxious. Take those baths with Epsom salt. So this is like, or sea salt maybe. I think Epsom salt is way better. So it's really magnesium in there and it's relaxing your body. But just do what feels good for you. If this is a short walk, do a walk. You can do yoga nidra. Yoga nidra is something that I really like. If you've never done this, you should really try it. There are lots of videos on YouTube. But I just wanted to clarify just very shortly that most of the time when you hit your head, it's just a stress response in your body because your body is releasing adrenaline and this is creating the stress hormone. So keep that in mind. And after a few days, up to a week, this will lessen and you will feel more calm and your symptoms will probably go away. So please don't worry about getting a new concussion, sustaining a new concussion. So just a short podcast right now, but I just wanted to clarify this because I hear this so many times and I just don't want you to feel stressed or worried or totally out of your mind because you think you sustained another one. And if you feel like, hey, I still have symptoms after 1 week, after 2 weeks, please let me know because then I can maybe think along with you about what is happening and about what to do to make this better. So I'm always open for a chat if you need anything. So please, you can reach out to me on Instagram or email. So I would love that. Thank you for listening to my podcast. I really hope this was helpful for you. If it was, and if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube, would you maybe do one small thing in return? Leave a short review or thumbs up on YouTube. The more reviews this podcast will get, the easier it is for other people to find this podcast and to feel less alone and lost in their journey. Oh, and one last thing. I would love it if you share a helpful episode on Instagram in a post or in a story and tag the concussion community in it. Or you can always send me a direct message. I love to see who is listening. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time.